James, would you get the door? James? Are you here?
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Good morning. I wonder if I might...
No solicitors. Sorry.
I'm not. I'm with the court.
Court?
Yes. I'm Joseph Bradley. I'm in town for the day from Washington.
Washington. United States Supreme Court?
Yes.
Justice Bradley.
Yes.
My goodness.
May I come in?
Oh, yes, of course. Please. I'm so sorry.
No, you wouldn't know me from Adam. No one in Washington recognizes me without my robe, let alone Chicago. I'm the one barging in here unannounced. Please accept my apology.
Please have a seat. I'm afraid you've caught me at breakfast. Would you like a cup of tea? Or I can make some coffee.
No, thank you. I have a carriage waiting. I just wanted... You are Mrs. Myra Bradwell.
Oh, yes. Yes, in the flesh, more or less. And you are Associate Justice Joseph Bradley, who concurred specially on Bradwell versus State of Illinois.
That would be me.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, Your Honor. Are you sure I couldn't get you a...
No, thank you.
What brings you to Chicago?
Court business. As you may know, each justice rides circuit.
Oh, yes, this is your circuit.
Yeah, we try to touch base before the fall term of the court. Administrative duties.
My husband, James, is a lawyer member of the local committee. Oh, you're looking for James. He just left for his office.
No, actually, I wanted to meet you, Mrs. Bradwell. Pay my respects.
Oh?
I know it's a bit unorthodox. We don't often have occasion to meet a litigant. I should say, a former litigant. Your case is quite over now, and I was in the neighborhood. Well, it might surprise you to know that I'm an admirer of your work as editor of the Chicago Legal Times. I'm told the local bench and bar consider it indispensable in keeping up with recent developments.
Thank you.
I find I don't always agree with your editorial slant, but it's often thought-provoking. We all need to be challenged, don't you think? Our point of view. In any event, splendid work. You're not practicing then?
Law? Why, Mr. Justice Bradley, you said that I couldn't.
Madam, the law said you couldn't. More precisely, Illinois said you couldn't.
Sir, the court could have set Illinois straight, told it that its law was wrong.
What do you mean? Well, before we decided your case, the Illinois legislature had changed the law, allowing women to practice. You got what you wanted, Mrs. Bradwell. Yet you persisted with your appeal. May I ask why?
What relevance does that have to your decision? I don't recall any mention of that in the opinion.
No, you're right. Just a matter of curiosity, post hoc. The state had capitulated, that's all I'm saying.
Should I have let the state of Illinois portray itself as magnanimous, been grateful for its largesse? The new law was a rank political maneuver. The state knew it wouldn't affect more than a handful of women.
Ah, and your insistence on going forward with the case was not a rank political maneuver?
All citizens, Justice Bradley, including women, are entitled to the full protection of the Constitution. There are 37 states in the Union, most of which are much less enlightened than Illinois. The court could have put an end to all this nonsense in one fell swoop, ruled that all laws like this are unenforceable throughout the country.
Madam, you expect too much of the court. We are not philosopher kings.
Oh, that, I'm sure we can agree.
The court is not your deus ex machina. It must view with caution issues born of public clamor and hysteria. It is an institution grounded in restraint.
With all due respect, I fail to see even an ounce of restraint in the ruling, particularly your opinion. Restraint would have been for the court to say that since Illinois had changed the law, the issue was moot, that Mrs. Bradwell could now pursue her chosen profession, so there was nothing to decide. That is not what the court did. Instead, you held women had no such right because in the eyes of the law, we are considered chattel. Or should I say cattle? Are you sure I couldn't get you anything?
I could use a whiskey.
I think we have.
I'm just kidding, Mrs. Bradwell. I never drink before Saturday. It was probably wise of you to have Mr. Carpenter present your case to us instead of appearing pro se. You might have burst into flames.
Justice Bradley, why are you here?
As I said, court business. And I was just curious to see if you landed on your feet.
I never left my feet, sir.
Yes, I'm sure you didn't. Perhaps there is more. I guess I wanted to say to you, Mrs. Bradwell, without the robe, that jurors take an oath to decide cases based on the law and not their personal preferences or sympathies, whatever they may be.
Why, Justice Bradley, is that an apology?
You're free to treat it as an apology if you must. It's merely an explanation. One that persons not schooled in the law don't seem capable of comprehending. One that I thought at least you would understand.
I accept neither your apology nor your opinion. If you were the least bit conflicted, you would have signed the fairly innocuous main opinion, or perhaps Justice Chase's dissent. Instead, you concurred and wrote separately, lectured us on the natural and proper timidity and delicacy of women, proclaimed, and I quote, that the paramount destiny of woman is to fulfill the noble and benign offices of wife and mother, all according to the divine ordinances of the Creator. Hogwash.
The natural law is not hogwash, Mrs. Bradwell. It has long been a useful resource for the courts.
When it suits you. That's not my God.
At least I dealt with the real issue underneath your maneuvering. This was never about your right to a chosen profession. It was about your purported right to wear breeches. Suffrage.
You make it sound like the plague.
I must go. You should consider standing for the bar, Mrs. Bradwell. You would be a formidable advocate. Again, I apologize for my intrusion. It was thoughtless.
Apology accepted. I hope that helps.
Pardon?
I received many letters after the opinion was announced. One of them, as I recall, was from a Mary Bradley. Would you know her? She didn't mention who she was, but it seemed very personal.
Mary is my wife. Mrs. Bradley has not been herself for some time. Out of sorts, you might say, confused by life.
Oh, she seemed very clear in the letter.
It started with the war. It took its toll, and politics. The children are grown now and on their own. The house is too big. The day is too long.
I believe I still have it. The letter. Would you like to see it? To be sure.
No. Yes. If it wouldn't be too much trouble.
Not at all. Mary Bradley, posted at Chesapeake.
Yes, this is her script.
Keep it. Do you live in Chesapeake?
No. She's there visiting her sister.
Ah. I hear it's perfect this time of year.
Yeah, so I'm told.
I find the lovely or awful thing about a court opinion is it's so public, so permanent. But you, sir, can always re-examine your views. It does appear she misses you. God knows why.
Mrs. Bradwell?
Myra.
Yes, Myra. Thank you. Goodbye.